So today everything hits the fan. Sarai has suggested to Abram that they have a child through a surrogate. Abram has agreed. Hagar's been promoted to wife, and she's gotten pregnant. And now she's haughty and contemptuous of Sarai. And that just doubles down on her own pain because she failed to get pregnant for all these many, many years, and it just hurts so bad. Welcome to paragraphs 3 and 4 of episode 6 in the stories of Abram. We are in Genesis 16. The text says, Vatomer Sarai el Avram. And we have that explicit mentioning of the subject that helped set this off as a paragraph. And so then Sarai said to Abram, and what did she say? And she said, Chamasi eleka, anoki natati shefchati bechecheka, vatera ki harata, va'ekal be'eneha, yeshpot Adonai beini uveinecha. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, let's break it down piece by piece. First, we have Chamasi aleka. So Chamasi, here, yod on the end, one CS, and then that's Hamas, which violence, wrong, pain, hurt. And then we have aleka. So we have the preposition al, which takes its pronominal suffixes as if it were a plural noun. That's why you have that connecting yod, and then the 2ms suffix. And there's two ways to look at that. So it's my pain, supply a form of to be, on you, and that we could make that kind of volitional. May my pain be on you. May you get hurt in the same way I did. Or we could take all as on account of, because it can mean either one. And then this is just, blaming. My pain is your fault. My pain is on account of you. So one of those two. Anoki I natati. Natan is like the only verb where the third noon will assimilate into the tav of the perfect verb endings. So we have, I gave my servant into your bosom or into your arms. Vatera, but then she realized, ki harata, that she was pregnant. Va'ekal. So we talked about this root yesterday as well as the last couple of verbs. And this is a geminate root, kalal, and it's where we get the name of the stem kal. It can mean things like to be light, to be easy, but also to be insignificant. It can be used in curses. So she realized that she was pregnant, and then I was little, belittled, despised, disparaged in her sight. Yishpot Adonai beini uveinecha. So yishpot from shafat is to judge. It's a 3ms prefixed form. And we could take that one of two ways. We're really kind of expecting volitional, and we would interpret it then as adjussive, even though we would expect yishpot instead of yishpot. May the Lord judge beini, between me, uveinecha, and between you, whereas in English we will only use the between once. With the accent on the second syllable, it looks like an imperfect, and so that would be more prediction. The Lord will judge between me and you. Doesn't fit the context as well. So one of the things we say to ourselves is where they have placed the accent on these is not fully reliable, or at least that's one way to approach it. Sometimes the computer programs will have it parsed as, well, this is an imperfect. It just has adjussive meaning. Or maybe the accent doesn't move consistently, or they didn't mark it consistently, or some things of this nature. So she just unloads on Abram because of the hurt that she has because of Hagar. And Abram doesn't get in her face with, hey, it's not my fault, and it was your idea, and that kind of thing. But it doesn't exactly help the situation either. We have Vayomer Avram el Sarai. Then Abram said to Sarai, Hene shifchatek beyadek. Or maybe he was more forceful. Hene shifchatek beyadek. In any case, because like when Sarah spoke in the previous passage, it was Henena when she began, please consider my idea, right? And she didn't lead with any Henena, no, please consider. It's all your fault. And so he's redirecting her attention back to Hagar and away from himself. And so, look, your servant is in your hand, right? Because that's a metaphor. So hand represents authority. So look, your servant's under your authority. Like, don't complain to me. You've got the authority here. You do, well, I'm giving it away already. What is asi? C here, yod at the end is a 2fs ending for prefixed paradigms, but there's no prefix on this word. And that's because when we make an imperative, we start with the prefix form and we get rid of the prefix. So the verb is asa. It's a 2fs imperative. Asi lah, do to her, hatov, the good, or whatever is good, be'enayik. I think I mispronounced that when we went through before. Be'enayik, nice pausal form there. So you're disparaged in her sight? Well, treat her as is good in your sight. Vate'aneha Sarai. And so let's pull that verb apart. What's at the end? We have ha, which is a 3fs pronominal suffix at the beginning. Vav patak dagesh, preterite, or vayiktol. The dagesh is in a tav. That tav has to be a prefix. So we have either 2ms or 3fs, but there's not anybody speaking to anyone. This is from the narrator, and Sarai is the subject, so it has to be 3fs. And then our root is what? Our root is ana, but the hey that we see is not the hey of ana, which is a phony hey anyway. The hey that we see is the hey of the 3fs suffix, and the phony third hey has been lost in favor of that E-class vowel underneath of the noon. Then what is going on with R1? What's the ID badge for this stem? We see vocal shava under the prefix, patak under the first radical, and dagesh forte in the second radical. And that's what makes this syllable that R1 is in. And shava, patak, dagesh, that is the ID badge for the PL. So the root is ana, and the ana that we learn first in Hebrew is ana, to answer. But there are several verbs ana that are homonyms, and this is one of them. So ana in the kal could mean to be humble or to be afflicted, and here we have it in the PL. So be humble, be afflicted, that's stative. You move it into the PL, and so it's going to be factative. We're going to bring about the condition that is true in the kal. So Sarai afflicted her, Sarai mistreated her, Sarai was mean to her in response to the contempt that she's feeling from Hagar. It's so bad, vativrach mipaneha. So it's so bad. Barach with a chet, not with a kaf, is to flee. So she fled from her presence. Right? It's min, the preposition min, away from, and then paneh, face, which again is representing the person's presence. So if you're Hagar, you've gone through a lot because you've been tapped to become a wife to the leader of the clan, the group. I would expect culturally that she sees this as a good thing and a positive thing for her. And she's also gotten pregnant. Now she's carrying the heir. She's in a position, maybe she thinks, to advance her fortunes. And then it all goes south, right? So she's feeling her pride and haughtiness and seeing Sarai with contempt, and then that leads Sarai to have revenge on her, and then it's so bad that now she has fled, and wow, we got to wait and see what happens in the next paragraphs.